Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Hamzat Victoria Yano, the CEO of Victor Designs International. Today I'd like to teach us a bottom bag with undo. It has flap, it has zip also. Okay, so I'll be teaching us on how to make this bag from the scratch. Can you see it? Okay, can you see the handle? It also has 3 magnets. Okay, so now we'll move to the materials needed in making the. So these are the materials needed, and these are the measurements. So you need cutter, you need ruler, you need double face leather, you need zip cloth, you need magnet. I'm using 3. You need skin leather, soft one. You need sheet board for pattern making, and we're using sheet board also to pack the flap. You need lining, you need hose. You can put hose. You need zip stopper. You can also use leather. You also need zip teeth and your straight scissors. You need round bow. You also need gum. So now we'll move to the measurement. On your sheet board, you measure 13 by 8 inches. After measuring 13 by 8 inches, after measuring 13 by 8 inches, you measure 0.5 inches on the both side and slant it down. You slant it. That's how to get the shape of the bag. You slant it down. You slant the both sides, and then after slanting it, then you trim it out. You cut it out. So that's what I'm doing right now. After cutting it out, the next thing to do now is to get the bottom. You know, the wideness of the bag is 13 inches. So the wideness of the bag is 13 inches. Now the bottom will be 4.5 inches. So you minus 4.5 inches from the wideness, and the remaining one will be 8.5 inches. So our bottom will be 8.5 by 4.5 inches. That will be the bottom. So you cut it out. So you place your pattern on the leather and cut 2 out. That's for the front and back. That's for the front and back. For the zip flap, you know, after slanting it, you have 12 inches left. So you cut 24 inches by 2 inches. So that covers for the both zip flap. Can you see it now? So that's it. So I cut it once. Okay, so for the handle, the upper handle will be 15 inches. You know, the length of the bag is 8 inches. So that will be 8 times 2, that will be 16, plus the 15 inches, that's 31. So I added 1 inches. So you're cutting out 32 inches by 2 inch by 1.5 inches, 32 inches by 1.5 inches. So you cut 2 out of it. So this is the flap. Okay, so you place. So for the flap, you measure 10 inches by 8 inches. After measuring 10 inches by 8 inches, you need to divide it. Okay, so the flap will be 4 inches. The flap head will be 2 inches. where you will sew on the body is 2 inches also. So that makes it for 8 inches. So that's why I cut 10 by 8 inches out. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to divide it, okay, before shaping the middle out where the handle will pass. So to create a space where the handle will pass through, from the back, that's where you sew on the body, to the flap head you measure 2 inches on the both sides. So you measure 2 inches. After measuring 2 inches, can you see what I'm doing? So you measure 2 inches. After measuring, then you mark it out and trace it. Then you trace it with your cutter. Do you get what I did here? That's from the back. You know, the back is 2 inches, while the flap head also is 3 inches. So you now measure 2 inches on the both side, then you cut it out. Can you see it? So you cut it out. That's what I'm doing now. So that's where the handle will pass. So you gently cut it out. So after getting the flap head, you need to shape it round. So you measure 1 inches by 1 inches on all the side. Then you use your round bowl to shape it round. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm shaping it round now. So you do the same thing on all the sides. 1 inches by 1 inches. So after shaping it round, you place the same pattern on the sheet board and cut the same thing out. Okay, because you know the flap also will have our lining, so you're cutting 2 out. It's 2 that you will cut out. Okay, so this is the shape. Can you see it? So don't forget to use your puncher to mark the shape out, and this is how we'll fix it on the leather. Okay, so now can you see it? This is the shape. Now you take your lining, you place your leather on your lining and cut 2 out. You make sure you leave like 1 inches on all the sides. Okay, so now you place your flap on the leather and cut it out. You now apply gum on your leather and also apply gum on the flap. Okay, you apply gum on it. After applying gum, then you place it on it. You gum the leather and the sheet board together. So while you're trying to gum it together, you need to be careful. Okay, you need to be careful. You notch all the sides, and the middle you try to notch it also. Okay, so you notch it for you to be able to fold the leather on it. So you do it carefully. You do the same thing on the 2 flap. Okay, as you can see the way I notched it. So before folding it, you need to notch it. Okay, to make it easier. So after gumming it, you trim it out. The next thing to do now is to fix the magnet. Okay, we're fixing 3 magnets on it. So you measure 0.7 by 0.7, then you punch it out. So that's what I'm doing. I hope you can see what I'm doing. After punching it, you fix your magnet. So we'll fix the second one later. Okay. So if you're joining me for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't only subscribe, kindly click on the notification bell so that I can be getting notification on our new update. And for the returnees, thank you so much, really love you. So after fixing the magnet, you gum the zip flap and the lining together. So you gum the zip flap and the lining together. You apply gum inside on the boat. You apply gum on the boat, then you gum the two together. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So you make sure you set it very well. You set it very well, and after setting it, you use your mallet or hammer to gently press it down. Okay, that is after setting it. So especially the angles, you need to make sure that they are well set. So now we'll move to the sewing part after gumming it. So the next thing to do now is to sew it round. You sew the flap round, and also the inside, that is the flap head, you sew it round where the handle will pass, to sew it round also. So if you're watching me on my Telegram, don't forget to send your practical work to me on Telegram. And don't forget to drop your comment on my YouTube channel also. Kindly note that you're not sewing the down part. Can you see where I stopped the sewing? So you're not sewing the down part. You're not sewing that part, okay? That's where you sew on the leather. Okay, so you use your lighter to knit it very well. So now you sew the zip clothes on the leather. Before you do that, you look for the middle. You know, you have 24 inches, so you look for the middle. After looking for the middle on the both side, from the middle you measure 1.5 inches on the both side. That's from the middle, you measure 1.5 inches, and from the down part you also measure 1.5 inches on the both side. Okay, can you see that I turned it and do the same? So you measure 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches on the both side from the middle and also at the down part. So where you now start sewing the zip cloth is where you measure 1.5 inches. From where you measure 1.5 inches, you will sew the zip cloth. You start sewing the zip cloth. So that's what I'm doing now. I hope you can see what I'm doing very well. So that's how to sew the zip cloth on the zip flap. So and you will stop where you measure 1.5 inches. Okay, that's where you will stop. I hope you can see it. That didn't. Okay, can you see it? Can you see it? Okay. So you do the same thing on the other side also. This is it. So after doing that, your lining, you start the lining sewing from the middle. You know the zip, you didn't start sewing the zip from the middle. So the lining, you sew the lining from the middle to the last edge. So you make sure you didn't sew the zip. So that's what I'm doing now. So after sewing it, that's when I will now top stitch it. After sewing the line on the both sides, that's when I will now top stitch it. So this is it. Can you see it? So now I will top stitch. I will now top stitch it. So you need to top stitch it first before joining the zip cloth together. Before joining the edge of the zip cloth together. So you need to first of all top stitch it. So that's what I'm doing now. So after top stitching it now, you can now join the edge of the zip cloth together. So after joining it together, you sew the zip cloth, you sew the lining straight on the both sides. You're not sewing the down part yet. So you sew the lining straight and turn it out. Okay. So that's it. Can you see it? So that's our zip flap and the lining. So now you sew the handle on the body. That's what we want to do now. So you sew the lining, the handle on the body. You measure 3 inches by 2 inches. Okay, when you measure 3 inches, so where to start sewing from the upper side, you measure 2 inches. So that's where you now start sewing your handle. You measure 2 inches. Can you see it? You measure 2 inches. So from the 2 inches is where you now start sewing the handle. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So to now sew your short handle, you know the short handle, we've already cut it together with the body. Okay, we cut the handles together. So you know you are left with 2 inches there. So to now start sewing your short handle, you measure 2 inches. You know the short handle is 15 inches. So you measure 2 inches on the both side. You know, I've marked the 2 inches. So from the 2 inches where I marked on the handle, not from the body, on the handle, that's where you now measure 11 inches. Okay, you measure 11 inches. So from the 2 inches is where you now sew to the 11 inches, and also measure 2 inches on the other side also. I hope you can get what I just explained. So that's what to do. Can you see it? So you leave 2 inches on the handle before you start sewing it. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So after sewing the short handle, you now sew the other part on the body. Can you see? Then you turn it and sew it. Then you start sewing. You know, you have to measure 2 inches also on the handle, and also measure 2 inches on the body. That's where you start sewing it. Okay. So you need to set it very well. You need to set it very well. Okay. So now the next thing to do is to take the flap. You take your flap and pass the handle through it. So we want to sew the flap on the body now. So you pass the hand through it, and you know that the part that you are going to sew on the body is the down part only the down part that you sew on the body. So you make sure that it's at the middle, and then you shift it up to make sure that you set it very well, because the 2 inches must be on the body. Okay, so after setting it, as you can see that I move it to the edge very well. Okay, so you just sew the down part only, just the down part straight. That's what you sew only, because we are still fixing the zip cloth on it. For you to be able to fix it very well, you need to sew only the down part. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So after sewing the flap on the body, you join the 2 bodies together. You join it. So you sew it straight on the both sides. After that, you turn it out. But before turning it out, you need to fix the bottom. So the excess leather, you need to trim it very well for you to be able to fix the bottom. So this is the bottom. You look for the middle of the bottom. You know, the side that you have already sewed as serve as the bottom for the leather. So you look for the middle of the bottom and place it. You place the side on it and sew it round. So you make sure that the other side also is well set. I hope you can see what I'm doing now. So that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm sewing the bottom. So this bag is a bottom bag with flap. Okay, it's a bottom bag with flap. So once you can get that, there are different types of bags, and once you can get one, you should be able to make different ones also. Okay, so this is it. Can you see it? So the next thing to do now is to turn it out. So you gently turn it out. So after turning it out, that's when we now sew the zip cloth. We sew the zip cloth and also fix our zip teeth. After fixing the zip teeth, we sew the zip flap. After fixing the zip flap, you top stitch. After top stitching, you fix the zip teeth and also fix your zip stopper. This is it. Our bag is already ready. It's only the zip cloth, the zip flap that we need to sew on it. Then after sewing the zip flap, you fix your stopper, zip stopper. You need to fix the other magnets on the body also. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sewing the zip flap on it. So you need to gently sew it. Kindly note that you need to look for the middle of the zip flap also. and start sewing from the side. The side that you sew together on the bag has already served as its own middle. So now I'm done with the fixing of the zip teeth, the zip flap. Can you see it? So our bag is 100% ready. So you trim the zip cloth and at least you leave like 2 inches to 2.5 inches excess. And you take your super glue, you apply it on it and fix the zip stopper. So you cut the excess out, the excess of zip cloth out, and then you leave like 2 inches or 2.5 inches. Then you apply super glue on your zip cloth. After applying super glue on it, then you fix your zip stopper. Okay, so I'm trying to fix the chain stop, the magnet. That's the other side, the other part of the magnet. So you set it on your bag very well. You set it very well. Then you use your puncher and punch it. Okay. So lest I forget, don't forget that you need to, after fixing the magnet, you need to sew the down part of the lining. We only sew the sides. We've not sewed the down part of the lining so that we'll be able to do other stuff, other adjustment inside the bag. Okay, so don't forget to sew the down part of the lining. Okay, you fold the two tip together and just sew it straight. That's all. So this is the lining down part that I'm talking about that you need to sew straight. Okay, so our bag is ready. Thank you for watching.